Hi, I'm Stephen Wener, and today I'm going to talk to you about the power of a word. One of the things that we do is communicate. And as we're communicating, some of the things that we don't really ever have the opportunity to check back on is feedback, unless that person that you're talking to really responds in a way that is absolutely negative through body language. So when you get to use the power of a word, I want to give you some examples of how somebody might take something versus how you want them to take something because you understood how you were talking to them. If we take, for example, take versus spend. I'm going to take 15 minutes of your time means I'm being selfish with your time versus why don't we spend 15 minutes together and I can go over X with you. Depending on how you actually have that conversation with that person, they're going to react in a different way. So you can either set them off properly or you can make them react in a negative way because of the subconscious. Very interesting to think about those words. And the only way to understand that is to go through role play like I do daily in my office and have people go back through the conversations that we had and say, you could have done this differently, change that word. And again, these are all things that we experience through doing daily homework. But if you're not doing it, it's very difficult to understand. Another thing is, if you've got a past client, if you're in sales, is don't introduce somebody by saying, hey, this is Martha, and I sold her a home. It sounds interesting, doesn't sound that bad, but realistically, you could say, hey, this is Martha, and I actually helped her find the right property she moved into. It's amazing. So depending on how you say something and the words that you use, that you highlight, that you stress, they're so important on how you actually can dictate the way the subconscious is going to move with you. So once you're talking to people, and you understand how to have these conversations and not use something that may sound selfish, that may just sound all about you, that take people in the wrong direction, it's through practice. And each and every word has a meaning. So for some people, certain words will set off a negative experience. So you have to be extremely diligent on being hyper aware of what you say. And if you make the mistakes, which is life, go back, think about what you said, or even just ask, what did I say? How come you reacted that way? Life is like homework, right? We can do these things that allow us to move back and forth and better ourselves and apologize. And then again, look for a better word. And when we're also talking to people, it's not just the power of a word, but it's the power of a phrase that we're saying. So if you say something like, or you know, while you're searching, and you start saying that repetitively, it's because you're not sure what word to say, or again, you're not super well versed in having conversations. So from a word to the cadence of how you're talking to somebody, to how you're using the Eddie Murphy was when you were trying to give your wife an excuse, you give yourself that millisecond. I'll never forget that because in a millisecond, you can think of a lot of things. But pay attention to cadence. Pay attention to the words that you're saying. Practice words that are important. And through all of that, the power of one word can get you exactly what you're looking for. I'm Stephen Wener of Whissel Realty, and thank you for listening.